Okay, so I've been watching this game, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, for a little while now, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't completely on the fence. As of recently though, we have just had the Suicide Squad Insider Episode 2, which is Meet the Support Squad, and they've gone through a load of details, and also had some information coming from the Discord with regards to delays on the Epic Game Store. This is a really odd one all the same, but allegedly there are some lies about parts of the plot. This is an extremely interesting one, and one that I'm extremely unsure of, and I'm mainly doing this video because I want to grasp the thoughts of you guys and how you are looking at this new looter shooter, the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So with that being said, we're going to dive on in today into some of the news revolved around this game and the confusion happening around it. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And on top of that, make sure you check out our sponsor, Advanced GG, the #1 clinically proven energy supplement on the market. My favourite flavour is cherry vanilla, but you guys can catch an array of flavours via the link in the description. Use code CLOUD at checkout, and we can dive on into this. So to start off with, we're just going to push out straight off the bat the delay that's here. Now, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has received yet another delay, but only for the Epic Games Store version. The developer Rocksteady Studios announced the delay via the game's Discord, while confirming it's still set to launch on February 2nd, 2024 on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series, and also on Steam. Now, Rocksteady did not reveal why there's now a further wait for the Epic Games Store version of the Suicide Squad, but stated any pre-orders on the store will be cancelled and refunded by Epic. Now, it will be available on the store around March 5th, 2024, and this is a really weird one, but with over a little of a month to go before Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is released, publisher Warner Bros. Has been tackling leaks of gameplay footage and cutscenes which were recorded during the closed alpha tech test in the end of November. Rocksteady received a restatement earlier this week calling the leaks disappointing and asked people not to post spoilers and ruin the enjoyment for other players. Now, this is a bit of an odd one, but as you can see right here via the post, it states that the release for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League on the Epic Games Store is now March 5th, 2024. If you pre-ordered the game on the storefront, Epic will be cancelling your pre-order and refunding customers directly. A confirmation email of this cancellation will be sent directly from the Epic Games Store support team. If you have any further inquiries regarding your pre-order, please visit the Epic Games website. A really odd one, but while we're talking about the leaks that were also in told, allegedly Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League leaker admitted that they made up parts of the plot, which is a little bit dangerous, especially as we're looking at insiders where they're trying to show you guys exactly what it is that's inside of the game, the plot that revolves around it, the cool hidden features, the things that you may want to know, the things that you don't yet know. And one of those features in just a moment we will get into, because I'm quite intrigued by it and one of the reasons why I'm so on the fence about it. But while the Insomniac leak has overshadowed essentially everything this week, another superhero game, which is the Suicide Squad, has suffered large story leaks, causing many DC and Arkhamverse fans to start wringing their hands about the game. Now, in the leak, this one is a big one. The leaker has allegedly come forward to say that not only do they regret talking about them, but they either mischaracterized or even made up large parts of the leak. It's a little tricky to discuss this without giving specific examples, which of course means spoilers, but I can do my best to do this one in the most amount and apology with omission that was posted to Reddit without specifics, to say the least. Now, the leaker admits that data miner Miller, who's pushed back against the nature of these leaks, was correct about how flawed they were, and this was a bastarding retelling of the game's story they regret writing. The story notes were assembled entirely from cutscenes in the game files, missing huge parts in between them and lacking all context completely, and even then the leaker says that they skimmed most of them. While major events did happen, the details listed as fact were mostly speculation by the leaker. When they said that this extremely controversial thing happened, it was more than likely I think that this thing happened off screen, maybe at best, and some pieces were made up entirely and some plot lines were omitted entirely. There is something in the post-story content that completely recontextualizes the story of the game as an overall, but they won't say what it is, only that it shifts everything that came before it if fans were worried about what the game may severely alter about the Arkhamverse. Now, in short, though, they're writing this because they saw how damaging what they revealed was to the game, realised that how badly that they had screwed up and not just spoiled things, but released a lot of incorrect information, and now they regret it completely, which is absolutely hilarious. But the fact that this is even being spoke about is absolutely insane. Some things that are completely factual, though, that we did manage to get from the Insider Part 2 is how the Suicide Squad's loadout options enable customizable chaos. Now, this is pretty crazy because on February 2nd, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang will be unleashed onto the streets of Metropolis with the impossible task of defeating the world's greatest superheroes in the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, how this game is actually going to go, we'll have to wait and see. For me, this looks like a massive open world surface with no NPCs, no real interactions, nobody to save. It's completely the opposite to what we experience with like Spider-Man, and because essentially everybody in Metropolis has been taken over or infected or something along those lines, and we just have a load of enemies that all look the same and are just different variations of colour. It's a negative to say the least, but what we're going to talk about right here is probably the more positive part of the feature. Now, it does state in this article here from PlayStation.blog that in the latest episode of the Suicide Squad Insider video series, we gave you an in-depth look at the customization options that allowed you to personalize your experience and bring chaos how you wanted to. If Harley Quinn, King Shark, Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang are to have any chance against the corrupted Justice League, they're going to need a little help from their friends, although reluctant colleagues might be more accurate. Amanda Waller has forcibly enlisted a whole team of misfits to support, assist, and power up Task Force X, whether they like it or not. Now, Penguin has been showcased in the latest Insider Episode 2, and he does seem to be more in the anti-metahuman weaponry side of things. This is a ridiculous movement, but essentially we're going to be utilizing Penguin for upgrading our weapons. So if you need a punchier shotgun or more explosive grenade, a bendier boomerang, but Penguin's pretty much got you covered completely. And this looks pretty damn cool. Now, this is something which I quite liked the idea of, and they've showcased quite a lot inside of the way that the weaponry is actually changed up and how it all looks. And for me personally, they've nailed it on the head. The customization inside of these weapons do look pretty cool, and you're going to be able to make them look pretty much exactly how you want them to, with a lot of skin factors, but with that normally does mean microtransactions. So I'm fully expecting something along those lines, regardless of what statements have already been made. But Mechanical Genius Toyman is a self-confessed Superman super fan, which is hard to get out of the lake, which is what makes using his skills to help defeat the Man of Steel even more painful. Still, no time for moral grey areas with a bomb in your neck, which is why Toyman will help with Squad Tinker, customize and optimize their weapons overall, from bonus critical damage of your sniper to extra shield harvest chances on a tankier build. It's clear that Toyman isn't really playing games, and the most surprising member of all is Ivy. After Poison Ivy's demise on the hands of Scarecrow, she has been reborn and captured by Lex Luthor. Now, she's been escaped and is now using her knowledge of plants to create elemental weapons for the squad. Despite having no memories of her past life whatsoever, she remembers how to make some mean spores, and she can set enemies ablaze, freeze them to the bone, or electrocute an entire horde, guaranteeing critical hits against all. And this is seeming to be working quite well as an overall, and the comparison between all three seems to work quite nicely. Now, all of these support characters and their gameplay features provide a deep and rewarding level of customization to your builds inside of the Suicide Squad. Now, through the use of talents, weapons, and gear, you'll be able to play the game in totally different ways, as a close-range menace, dealing out brutal shotgun blasts and melee strikes, or even a tactical sniper delivering devastating headshots. And this, for me, is absolutely incredible, and the way that they've kind of worked that out. The only problem that I'm having here with this game is that it just seems to look like one of those games that will be pretty damn stagnant maybe after the first couple of weeks at a push. Now, I know the same companies that can't be said, and they're not obviously developed by the same people or even a part of the same franchise, so you super fans out there, do not call me out in the comment section. I know exactly what I'm about to say. But the Marvel Avengers game was one of these that we were quite hopeful on, and Lord fricking knows inside of the looter shooter world that it was absolutely atrocious, to say the least, even though it did look quite good on the upcoming spells. Whether this is actually going to be anything, we'll have to wait and see, going into February 2nd, and for those of you guys who want it on the Epic Game Store, March 5th, Still don't really understand that, but we're going to be looking for some details on that as to why that's been happening. But this game has got me on the fence big time. I'm really wanting it to be looking cool and being playing well and have loads to do inside of it, although I can't feel like this Metropolis is just going to be a giant playground that we're going to be able to kill the same looking beasts in different variations of colour. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm grasping. Even then, the storyline seems pretty weak from what I've gathered as well, but we don't want to pop any spoilers in this video. That seems to be for another day. If you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. Thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate you all, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.